Hey everybody, it's Madmaxed again with another video. I want to wish everybody a happy New Year's. And please remember to subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up if you like it. And I really hope this helps you with the game, and I hope you have a good year this year. Now, I'm trying to go over a lot of the old legendary champs that I got and free champs that you get and things of that nature, because not everybody is going to wind up getting an Archbishop. It's a great champ. But everybody's going to get a Drex. Everybody's going to get Marthal if you play long enough. Everybody will get an Arbiter. Everybody will get a Visix The Unbowed, and that's who I'm going to go over with. You get her at about 9 months into the game. All right, so it's just a login champ. And a lot of people, I think, overlook this champ. And a lot of people, I think, when they first start out, they look at going in and building armature, and armature is a waste of building to me. Just totally a waste. Now, the reason is, let's look at her. She's got 1,700 hit points. She's got defense of 1,476. I've got her speed up to 196. The crit rate and the crit damage, I'm not really using her for that, but the crit rate, I would probably get her out of that crit glove if I were rebuilding her, because she's really old for me. Because this is my a little over second year that I've been playing this. I've got her accuracy up to 282, which you want, and you want to have a fairly amount of resist on her if you get it. But now, that's her. Now, she has a skill set of she attacks 2 times, and each hit has an 80% chance, even under book. There's a 100% chance once you book it, of decreasing the turn rate by 15%. So Armature decreases the turn rate by 30%, so she can do exactly the same thing. Once you get that A1 booked out, that's the one you really want booked. The rest of them you don't really care about. The other one, it decreases the speed, which 100% chance is booked out. It places an ally protect on all eyes except the champ for 2 turns, which is not bad, because it helps your team stay alive. The one that really helps your team stay alive is the A3, which has a 3-turn cooldown. It lasts 2 turns. What it does is for 1 turn, it does a provoke. And so it puts a shield on the champ for 20% of the max HP. So you get a lot of HP, you get a big shield for it. Now, if you go in, let's look at an armature. If an armature was completely maxed out, and you'll see a lot of these champions, they'll talk about armature. I'm like, well, at 9 months, I mean, it's going to take you a while to get an armature. It's going to take you, and when you're first starting out, the first few months, you need to be getting your starter up, you need to be leveling up food. A lot of things you need to be doing, but you don't need to be leveling up an armature, not right off the bat. So by the time you might be able to get an armature up to 60, 2 or 3 months before you get her, but let's look at an armature and what you get out of it. 2,000 less hit points. So the multiplier for it, so like with her, I've got 100% multiplier from it, from all those percentages. So you're only going to get 30,000 hit points instead of 35. The big one is the defense. The defense is 947 instead of like with her. And so most of it comes from the multipliers. It comes from the percentage multipliers. So when you look at her, at what she has 500 more of the defense. Well, 60% of that comes from that one piece on your of it, and then I've got other pieces that have like 18 there, so there's over 100% coming, well over 100% that is just coming from the percentage, not from these little, 40, 50. Those don't do a lot, not for the defense. See, there's another 13%. And there's more down in the rings and all that. So about 100% of that is coming, or over is coming from that, about 110, 120%. So you're going to get 110, 120% less of 500. So you're going to get 700, 800 less defense. So he's a lot squishier of a creature than this is. And then it places that shield on itself of 20% of its HP. So 20% of 35 is like 7,000, 8,000 shield. That's not a bad shield. It's not a great shield, but it's still not bad. All right. So the main thing I do, okay, when I go through and I look, I didn't even, I have not booked her out. Now this is how good she is for fire night. I haven't booked her out. I haven't got her masteries even done. I mean, if I were going to go down through here and do this, I did go get enough for like, a little bit extra accuracy. The resist is up, and probably it needs to defense more than anything. But it decreases the damage received by 8% of the champion who's hit with a critical hit. But I would go down and I would choose the defense tree line and the sport line, but it's not needed for a fire night. Now, let's see. Fire night. This is Fire Night 20. I know a lot of people that have trouble with Fire Night. It's a slow dungeon. Now, this is an easy crew to go through it. I mean, you don't need bad ale. You can actually use something else like a nuclear farm that has a little bit of heals. But between, you don't need Valkyrie. You can use Skull Crusher. The reason I like a counter Martha, there's a lot of reasons I like a counter champ because if he shields pretty quick, when you walk up, he's shielded, and so then you got to break him out, and then by the time you break him out, usually even with this bunch, because like they've all got like 2 hits except for Bad Elf who has one, but by the time you break him out, he's almost got a full turn meter right off. So the counter comes up, and when the counter's there, it doesn't count as a hit. So it's just, you get all those hits, it breaks out with almost no turn meter. And it takes about 2 minutes to go through these waves right off the bat. I mean, this is not a quick dungeon. No matter what you do, it's just not fast. It's not like going through a spider that takes 30 seconds or so. You're not going to be able to do that. I've seen some fairly fast runs, like around a minute or so, but this is 100%. It's always going to work for you. It never not works. And Arbiter is just there to pick up anybody in case they die. It also boosts up, Cold Heart's attack a little bit, but her big attack that does a lot of damage is based on crit damage, not on the attack part. So we're at the ones that are actually killing most of this stuff is Bad Ale. Whenever they take a turn, they get a lot of poisons because they're slow, and he just stacks poisons, stacks poisons, stacks poisons. Of course, you see, even her attacks are fairly good, fairly strong. For a defensive player, she's actually a pretty good strong one, and I don't have the best gear on her. Don't have her book, don't have her mastery done. She could be a lot stronger than what she is. But see, he's almost, his turn meter is almost full before he even gets broke out. So now she's gonna knock it down. She knocked it down 15%. Cold Heart knocked it all the way back down. But if it had shielded, then the counter would have broke it back out almost right away with almost no turn meter. Because everybody would have got the shot before they even take a turn. It's just a counter. That's the reason counters work really well here, but it's not necessary. You can just use somebody else. I've used Bogart, who has like a 3 hits on his A1, which worked really well. Now you notice you're going to knock the turn meter back down a little bit more. And he might shield one time, like there. Unfortunately, my counter's not up. I had a counter up on 2 of them. And Cold Heart works really well because she's got a 4 shot on that 1 hit. and she knocked the turn meter back down, and you see she does a lot of damage with that A3. If she was booked out, she would be even better. Probably would never shield between Cold Heart, the way I got it set, and with her. Because you look, there went 30% of the turn meter back down. And it'll slowly build up with the speed I've got for these guys. But the thing is, Cold Heart, well, every so often, when she comes back with that big A3 hit where she knocks the turn meter completely black down. Now, see, the counter's up. Got one hit, got 3 hits, 4 more hits, 7. Got one hit is all it takes. And then she hit with that. And it's done. I've done this in about 3 minutes for this crew before. It's not bad. Now, let me go in and show you the setup for it. Because the setup is really important for it to make it work really well. Well, I'm on the wrong one. And the nice thing about it, this is just an auto team, and you can just set and let it run all night long, and you can do a lot of fire nights with this. All right, so if you look at the team setup, like I said, you don't need Bad Alley. You really don't need Arbiter, and you really don't need Valkyrie. You can replace these. It just makes it quicker, makes it easier to get through. But you can actually stick nukers in here. If you really want one person that will res, but in a person that kind of heals a little bit. But, anybody that's a shield champ helps. But, you don't actually need the counter. But, the counter does help, like I said. But if you look at the setup of this, you just let everything go all the time until you get to round 3. Now, round 3, the only thing that you want to change is you do not want the Art of Pain with Cold Heart, because I've got reflex here on her, and I have the trait that will sometimes lower down the turn meter or the cooldown on the Heart Seeker. So if you're only using the A1 and the A3, the only thing that can cool down is this. And getting this thing to come up 1 or 2 times earlier is a big deal. It does a lot of damage and knocks the turn meter totally back down. Now, with her, if you look, you do the A1 and you turn the other 2 off. Why? You're not going to provoke the champ. And yeah, you get a little shield from yourself, but who cares? The other one is the Allied Protect, and it does an AoE attack, but that's not what you're wanting. What you're wanting is this one that does the turn meter reduction every time. So if all it's doing is hitting the A1 over and over again, every time it hits, it's knocking the turn meter back down. And a lot of times it's so slow at 280, if you get up around 200, you can get 2 or 3 hits in. So it's just a matter of getting a lot of speed. Like I said, I'd like to have about 250 on it, but I don't have it. It's an old gear. It works well. It does what I need done. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Like I said, have a good New Year's. Please subscribe to the channel, and I hope this helps you with the game.